parts of the Midwest. At least 11 persons are dead in Huntsville, Alabama alone. We'll go live to the scene, and among our guests, the mayor of Huntsville.
This is ABC News Nightline. Reporting from Washington, Ted Koppel.
This is another one of those nights when nature suddenly and violently shows its ugly side. Thunderstorms, many of them spawning tornadoes, and winds of up to 100 miles an hour have ripped across Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Arkansas, South Carolina, Louisiana, Kentucky, Indiana, Missouri, Ohio, and Illinois. It has been a devastating evening, with Alabama apparently sustaining the most injuries and fatalities. And hardest hit of all, Huntsville, Alabama, where as many as 4 tornadoes struck late this afternoon. But it is only now that Huntsville officials are beginning to get a handle on just how many people have been killed and injured. During the last few minutes, we have heard from Huntsville police, and you are looking now at some video that was shot this afternoon of some of the devastation. Even now, we are hearing from Huntsville police that the death toll now in Huntsville alone is up to 14. And that the number of injured is well over 200. Many of these scenes of devastation, of course, speak for themselves. I must tell you that I'm seeing this video with you for the first time. The scenes you're seeing here of individual houses are not, as strange as it may seem, the areas where the most damage was done and where the greatest injuries have been done. These nighttime scenes, and I must warn you, what you're going to be seeing very shortly here, is a little bit difficult to take. You will be seeing a woman who was rescued from the devastation, from the rubble of one of many apartment complexes. You can see her legs down there under the rubble. Believe it or not, she is still alive. If you're a little squeamish, I suggest perhaps you turn away for a while. Actually, we have edited out some of the worst material, but this crane was brought in to very delicately help remove some of the rubble that was on top of the woman, and she was pulled out of the rubble late this evening, is now at a hospital in the Huntsville area. There are 3, possibly even 4 hospitals in the Huntsville area. One of them, I believe the largest, is the Humana Hospital, and the spokesman for that hospital, Glenn Robinson, is, I believe, on the telephone line with me right now. Glenn, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Ted. Can you hear me okay?
I can indeed.
Okay, fine.
I know you're only able to speak to the injured who have been brought into your hospital, but first of all, give me numbers and give me a sense of how bad these injuries are, would you?
Sure, Ted. We have received here at Humana this evening alone at least 57 people through our emergency room. One of those was an unfortunate case of a dead on arrival, 1 fatality brought here. Of course, as you mentioned earlier on the newscast, there are a number of fatalities throughout our area tonight. Here at Humana, we had to set up actually 3 different types of emergency rooms to receive all the patients as they begin to come in. We're fortunate that we have a day surgery center that's in with our hospital structure, and so we set it up as a receiving area for the injured as they came in this evening.
How, I assume you've been able to talk to a number of the injured. How were most of them injured? They were in the, we've already said, I believe, that the tornado struck late this afternoon, I guess during peak traffic time, so many of them, I guess, were in their cars?
That's exactly right, Ted. We're seeing 2 different types of injuries here this evening in our emergency room. One came from the apartment complex that you mentioned earlier. We've seen a number of people that have been transported here to Humana from that apartment complex scene. And then a number of also people injured in their cars. They were on a southbound route, main artery in our city called Memorial Parkway, and a number of people were actually, cars flipped over, windows shattered, broken glass, causing serious lacerations, facial injuries, that sort of thing. And so we've really seen the gamut today.
The condition of most of the people at Humana?
I would like to say that we think probably half or more will be able to be sutured, bandaged, that sort of thing, and will hopefully be going home before the wee hours of the morning. Others, though, unfortunately, we have still at this hour, we have 6 in surgery. We have 4 that are being prepped at this time, about to undergo surgery. We've seen major orthopedic type injuries, neurological cases where we have head injuries, spinal injuries, some very, very serious injuries that this storm has caused.
Glenn Robinson, thank you very much. Just to bring you up to date a little bit, what's going on right now is that as of this hour, police in Huntsville, Alabama, and as I told you, the twisters hit, I don't even know how many states, 8, 10 states in the South and in the Midwest, and up as far north as Ohio and Illinois, and down south as far as Alabama and Mississippi and Louisiana.